the Rock Metal Podcast, episode 169 with The Rewind. All right, Rock Metal Nation, what is up? This is John from the Rock Metal Podcast. That sample you just heard was Mystery Girl by The Rewind, who I've got on the show with me right now. They've got a new album out called Casting Shadows, released via Tremulant Records. Right now I'm being joined by vocalist Josh Decker to share some stories about the music and share more info about the band. Josh, welcome to the show.
Hey, John, thanks for having me.
Absolutely great to have you on. Let's go listen back to that track, Mystery Girl. come back from Mystery Girl. Definitely dig the intro for sure. It definitely lets me know there's going to be some amazing tunage happening, and then it just doesn't let down from that promise.
Yeah, we definitely wanted to make this a catchy, in-your-face, upbeat rock and roll song because we came from the whole school of, I'm especially, and our drummer, as you could probably tell, influenced by the 80s hair bands that were always so flashy and hook-driven with their music. So we wanted to make it in your face and just a nonstop thrill ride the whole time. So that's kind of where that whole song came about.
Very cool. Now, what is the story or inspiration behind Mystery Girl?
Well, it started as a joke. We were actually, our drummer and our bassist at the time were at a pizza bar in downtown Lincoln, Nebraska. And for some stupid reason, our drummer thought it'd be funny to keep ordering lemons to just see how many the waitress would bring us. And so he covered the entire rim of some of his glasses with these lemons, and she just kept bringing them. So we thought, let's write a little joke tune about this lemon girl. And we had the entire thing written, except Lemon Girl was just like, you can't do anything with that. That's stupid. So we changed it and we altered the lyrics to make more sense. And voila, Mystery Girl was born. And we actually liked it enough that it became a staple of our set and apparently one of our most popular songs. So thank you to the random waitress at Old Chicago for that.
Oh, that's awesome that you just pulled the Old Chicago card. I remember being down in the States and seeing the massive wall of beers on tap. And
Yeah, and hopefully if they hear this story, we can get sponsored or something. But
that'd be great. Free pizza. Next thing you know, you're at the doctor.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, catering our shows and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Some Old Chicago. That'd be fantastic. What was the song about before you twisted the lyrics? I guess I'm just kind of curious. How did you write a song about the Lemon Girl waitress?
Basically, it was roughly similar to how it is now, except it was more focused on that particular situation. I mean, if you listen to the lyrics now, it really is about sitting in a bar and basically trying to pick up a chick. And so we kind of warped it to be more about that than just, the waitress and we think she's cute or whatever. So it's fairly similar. We just mostly altered a couple of lines to be very clear about what our story was there.
Yeah, kind of Wayne's World-esque. Hey, Dream Woman.
Sort of, yeah. Yeah. Schwing.
Yeah, why don't you just go talk to her? Fantastic. Now, you mentioned it's a big crowd pleaser. Was that surprising to you guys when you would, finish your set or even in the middle of playing the song and be like, wow, this song's actually getting an incredible reaction?
Yeah, very much so. And even on our social media and Spotify, that song is 1,000 or 2,000 listens ahead of some of the other ones. So I was expecting, and as were many people associated with the band, that one would sort of flounder and go nowhere because it's such a kind of silly song and it's different from a lot of the other stuff on the album. But I guess that's the one that people gravitated towards, and I have no problem with it. I like the song a lot, so we're just going to roll with it and see where it takes us. Yeah,
and also an incredibly intelligent move. Noticing from your set which song should be the single rather than sitting in a room by yourself and going, that one should be the single.
Oh, yeah, no, that was never our strategy. We wanted to get feedback. In fact, even when we're writing for the second album now, we're constantly sending little bits to people like, do you think this will work? Or what do you think we should do to this? So we're getting a lot of external feedback all the time.
Yeah, fantastic. I would say just take Mystery Girl, everything that you did, and just change the tempo, and then that'll be the next song.
Yeah, just rewrite Mystery Girl 11 times, and that'll be the next album. Just slight variances, and we'll call it good.
Yeah, this was the one with the capo on the 5th fret, and then this is the one where we tuned down to G.
Yeah, we tuned down a half step, but we took the Def Leppard approach here.
Exactly. Fantastic. All right, let's go listen to the next track, Shots Fired. Nation, it's John from the Rock Metal Podcast for a real quick break to let you know that Jay over at Metal Mayhem Radio is looking to help you get your band in rotation on his station. So go ahead and hit up Jay at studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. That is studio@metalmayhemradio.co.uk. Just go ahead and say that the Rock Metal Podcast sent you. He'll get you into rotation on Metal Mayhem Radio. All right, coming back from Shots Fired. Maybe a little bit slower tempo of a track, but definitely still an amazing track. I'm curious, Josh, what is the similar question? What's the story or inspiration behind Shots Fired?
Well, we had the whole instrumental section written about a week before we went into the studio. I still didn't have any words for it, and I was just racking my brain trying to think of something for it. So I was looking at what was going on in the country, politically and culturally and socially, and I thought, you know what, we need a good protest song that's not really about one specific thing, because I don't want to alienate anybody. But we took the general mood of what was happening around us, and we tried to put that into the song lyrically to sort of communicate that there was a lot of hostility. And I think that it's a great, soundtrack to a lot of the protests and everything going on, because it is so, brooding and political without really being specific about it. So a lot of people can latch onto it.
Yeah, and I'm curious. We're going to get into this in a little bit, but with regards, you mentioned you had the instrumental done, but the lyrics weren't done. Is that how the songwriting process for the Rewind goes? You guys have the music, and then you're coming up with lyrics?
Generally, yes. It didn't always start that way, but we found that it's easier to sort of at least have a pretty solid idea of what the music's going to be like. So then we'll think of the melody and put words to it based on how we feel after hearing it all together. So it's rarely do we ever go into a song and think, oh, this would make a great idea for a song lyrically and theme wise. So let's do that. No, it's always Alex or I, our guitar player, have music, and we just build on that, and then the lyrics follow.
Okay, because my other follow-up question is, you mentioned I had this written about a week before we went into the studio. What was it about the song before lyrics were there that you knew it had to receive studio time and a spot on the album?
Well, it was a much heavier and more brooding song than we'd written, and I think that it stands out in that regard. There are other heavy songs on the album, but there's nothing that's really anthemic, I think is what I'm looking for. So it has that fist-pumping quality to it that's really a big hit with the show. And I knew that we could do a lot of stuff with it in terms of background vocals and studio effects that would make it sort of a standout track there. So we knew from the beginning that we kind of wanted to keep that one around if we could think of lyrics for it. And fortunately we did, and it stuck around. And it's one of the songs that we usually end with on most of our sets.
Wow, cool. Now, for Rock Metal Nation who dug the two tracks, Mystery Girl and Shots Fired, they'll be excited to know that there is a full album called Casting Shadows that was recently released by Tremulant Records. So, Josh, go ahead and take us through Casting Shadows. When we pick it up, what should we expect?
Well, it's sort of an amalgam of a whole bunch of different influences. Our drummer and I are very 70s and 80s rock and roll inspired, so bands like Aerosmith and Cheap Trick, and we bring that sort of classic rock attitude towards it. And then our guitarist and bassist are really into 90s alternative and pop punk. So it's a lot of different things that come together to make just catchy, guitar-driven rock and roll that I think is both paying homage to bands like Cheap Trick and Deep Purple and Aerosmith, while also bringing something new to the table.
Wow, cool stuff. It's funny, when you mentioned 70s and 80s drumming, I thought those are two completely different snare drum sounds.
Oh, yeah. I mean, just the general rock and roll attitude. Yeah, it sounded like a shotgun in the 80s, that snare drum smash.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then completely dry with masking tape or something in the 70s.
Yeah.
But, Cool. All right, so the next logical question for Rock Metal Nation who dug the two tracks, Mystery Girl, Shots Fired, they're excited about picking up the album Casting Shadows. How can they find out more about you? Is there a place that they should go to on the web?
Yes, our website is sort of the hub of all of our operations. It's therewindband.com, and you can stream our album for free there, and it has links to all of our booking and social media. We're also on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Spotify. We're all over the place. So just look up The Rewind or therewindband.com.
Perfect. All right. Well, Josh, is there anything else you wanted to throw out there? I just wanted to thank you for taking time out of your day to come onto the Rock Metal Podcast and sharing the Rewind with Rock Metal Nation.
Yeah, we just wanted to thank you for having me on. It's been a great time. It's great talking with you, and I'm glad you dig the music.
Metal Nation. Hopefully you just found your new favorite band in The Rewind. Big thanks again to them for coming on and sharing their music with us. Make sure to head over to www.therockmetalpodcast.ca to get all the information on the show you just heard today. And until then, rock on, Rock Metal Nation.